Aggarwal, Head of Research at Prabhudas Lilladher, who joins us on the show. Hi, Amnish. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, we have spoken about these consumer-related stocks. I'll keep that aside for the time being. But I wanted to ask you about Tata Elxsi. The numbers were disappointing. They delivered a degrowth. We had a report coming from a sell-side analyst, that's a JP Morgan, that was expecting a growth. So that was disappointing. And the problem with some of these stocks are they don't trade at cheap valuations, at 40 times odd. What's your view on the stock? If it pulls back, would you be a buyer, or do you think that you'll still wait for a further correction?
Hi, Nigel. So, Tata Elxsi and some of the stocks in the IT space, which are more on the tech side, more on the engineering design services side. So, these stocks are actually going with, you can say, a theme, whether it is related to EV, whether it is related to more use of sensors and tech in the vehicles, or whether it is relating to other segments in the life sciences and healthcare. So I think in these stocks, if you look at the multiples also of these stocks, they are significantly higher than most of the other your tech stocks. So in the near term, yes, their numbers have not been that good, so which can result in, say, some sort of, I would say, correction that can't be ruled out. But however, in the medium to long term, I think it is these stocks are going more by theme, and it includes, of course, your Tata Elxsi. And I think once the stock maybe corrects a little bit, then I think the long-term theme will continue to play out. So I think all these stocks, I think one will not go by just what is happening in a single quarter also.
No, that's point taken. Amnish, hi, good morning. The Birla Group stocks all had a pretty good day yesterday. Idea, of course, we've been talking about, but then AB Capital joined in a pretty significant way. The financial services business and the ABFRL, the apparels business, right? Grasim, etc., Ultratech, I mean, I'm not mentioning those, but these are some of the, in a way, turnaround candidates in that sense. Do you have coverage on any of these or a view?
You see, the main thing is, if you look at, say, for example, Vodafone, now they have been capitalized. So they were lagging in adding, you can say, in expanding their 4G coverage. So there's an expectation that the loss of subscribers will stop here. They will be able to invest in 4G and 5G. And there is likely to be some increase in the tariffs in the coming few months, which will stem their losses significantly. Now, if you look at the market cap of Vodafone Idea in comparison to where Reliance and Airtel is, so the stock looks cheap purely on that front, given the fact that they have got some 18 to 19% subscriber share still in India. However, if you look at the past track record, the amount of time which it will take for this company to turn around, that is not certain. But definitely, the way some of the other telecom stocks are, you can say, performing, whether it is Bharti Airtel or even the Hexacom, which had got listed. So I think that has created a lot of excitement on Vodafone, given the fact that now the financial troubles will be taken care of, at least in the near term.
I also wanted your thoughts on Axis Bank. Numbers are coming out later today. Expected to be a decent set of numbers, loan growth of around 14%. But do you think there's anything in these numbers that you'd be cautious about, or would you continue to stay invested in a name like Axis Bank?
The Axis Bank continues to look good because it is trading at a discount to some of the peers in terms of price to book, and most of the parameters, whether these are NPAs, LDR and all, they seem to be under control at this point of time. So I think one should remain invested in Axis Bank, and I think it is among our top picks in the, you can say, in the banking space.
Okay, so it's your top picks in the banking space. That's interesting. Anything in the real estate space that you like? Because, you know, this space has come back in a big way. This morning, in fact, Puravankara has bagged rights to develop a 2,000 crore project in Mumbai. So the real estate market, especially the South-based players, are going all out in a market like Mumbai. Any thoughts here, and what would your top picks be?
You see, real estate, as I think we talked earlier also, that particularly Mumbai and Delhi, these two markets are witnessing a lot of activity. The prices there have moved up by anywhere between 20 to 30% over the last, say, couple of years. So that is why there is a lot of interest in these two markets. If you look at the pre-sales also, they are exceptionally strong in these two markets. And if you look at, say, on a per square feet basis also, these two markets are the most expensive markets in the country. So that is why every real estate player would like to have some pie in these markets, and that is why I think all these players, they are trying to increase their presence. And I think given the fact that it is just a 2-year-old cycle, I think that there could be many more legs to it going forward. So I think all the major real estate companies which are focused on these two markets, they are likely to do well in the, I would say, medium term at least.
Okay, all right. Amnish, stay with us. We'll come right back to you. But Anuj is now here with what he's making of the market, which is continuing to see improvement, not just here, but in the US as well after last week's sell-off. Anuj, morning.
To go before the pre-opening rates kick in. Promises to be a pretty good one, actually. 90 points higher now on the GIFT Nifty. But we also have plenty of stocks that we're going to talk about. So Amnish Aggarwal is still with us. Amnish, I wanted your thoughts on Bajaj Finance. There's an interesting report from MK this morning where they've initiated a buy. They have a target price of 9,000 on Bajaj Finance, and they talk about how all the near-term challenges and concerns like the RBI action, etc., is now behind the company. And, you know, there is a lot of growth that they're staring at, etc. From an investor standpoint, does it make sense to buy now?
You see, Bajaj Finance growth has never been an issue because this company has been growing anywhere between 25 to 30% CAGR. They have got a very strong presence in all the verticals. They have entered fintech also. I think the only issue is that I think at the current price, yes, it has corrected from nearly close to 9,000 rupees. It went all the way to 65, 6,700. And now it might have started another up move. So in the near term, yes, it can give a bounce back. Fundamentals remain strong. In the longer term, however, there's a possibility of, you can say, the price to book coming under pressure. In the near term, the performance of the company continues to look good.
Okay, Amnish, final question, I think, before we can let you go. Kesoram Industries came out with a set of numbers. They looked a little bit softish, but they're a very small player in the context of things. The street, though, is anticipating that maybe EBITDA per ton for the industry on the whole will decline by 150 to 200 rupees per ton. So Q4 will be weak, but now you have a big player, the Adani Cement Group. They're talking about ramping up capacity, and that's why you saw a few of those mid-cap names that got excited yesterday. Would you buy into any kind of weakness in cement? We have Dalmia Bharat's numbers today as well. And what would you buy?
You see, cement companies are likely to remain soft over the next 1 or 2 quarters because now we are heading for monsoons. The price increase anticipated, I think that event has also more or less played out. The action in some of the mid-cap counters may be because now the industry is dominated by 3 or 4 large players and they could be looking at more and more consolidation of the industry. So that is, I think, more like an event-based trade. So I think as far as cement is concerned, in the long term, the best stock remains your Ultratech. And there could be some action in the mid-cap stock from time to time, depending upon the corporate action or the expectations. But over the next few months at least, I think the cement stocks are likely to be more sideways. Because this year we are going to have very strong monsoon, so that will also keep the activity slightly subdued.
Okay, all right, Amnish, thanks a lot for that. Wishing you a good day ahead. Well, yesterday we saw